Alright guys, so if you remember about 8 months ago, I did a video where I tested a fountain pen for the first time. And after that, I kind of fell down the fountain pen rabbit hole and discovered that I really love fountain pens and the way that they feel whenever I write. And then I went further down the rabbit hole and I discovered that the Lamy Safari is my favorite one. And I love the smoothness that it has whenever you write. It's just super smooth, right? So the people over at Supernote saw that video and said that they have a product that they thought I would enjoy, so they sent me one to test out. So what they sent me is the Supernote Supernote A5X is what they sent me. I really love this box. So we have, I assume this is the Supernote itself. We have a folio. I think that's fancy for cover. And we have whatever that is and whatever this is. Maybe styluses? Supernote pen. So this is supposed to be an e-ink tablet. And it's supposed to give you the same writing experience as a notebook and paper. But be all digital. Oh, okay. Some stickers. What's this? Charger. Okay. We probably don't need that right now. Oh, okay. Alright, well we'll check that stuff out here in a minute. Oh. Okay. It's very light. About the same. Almost the same size, too. You know, let's go ahead and put this thing on. We might as well. Oh. Okay. This is kind of cool. So it looks like it has a notch that slides in. Oh, look at that. Okay, we got a stylus. Oh, okay. This is why they thought that I would enjoy this. It's a Lamy Lamy Safari stylus. Oh, now that. Okay. I like that a lot. So it looks like these have two different types of tips. Hold the power button to get started. Let's get started. I guess we just gotta answer some questions. Oh, we got a menu? I'm right-handed. You've created a new note. Let's check out the useful tools inside. Let's skip. I don't know what that was supposed to do. Tap or double tap on the screen. 2 fingers to display the toolbar. Oh, so it hides the toolbar. Okay, so what? Oh, we can write. Okay. That feels... Okay, hold on. Hold on. Now let's... Okay. Test. Right off the bat, I like the way this feels. Because it's so... What I enjoy about writing, or when I have to write, what I want to feel is just complete smoothness. And that's what I feel. And this, I've never really messed with e-ink before. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but it's very responsive. Now, how do we erase? Oh, that's cool. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. So I don't know what this setting is right here. This looks like some type of like marker or something. And then this looks like some different type of marker. But this one apparently can like sense your touch. And if you go real light, it's thin. And if you push down, it's way darker. That's pretty cool. Okay, so right off the bat, I really like this thing. I love the way this feels. Let me play around with this thing for a couple hours and kind of figure it out, and then let me show you some of the features. Okay, so it's been about 2 hours or so that I've taken some time to kind of like learn some of the features of this thing. One thing I learned is that this loop is for your stylus. So that was nifty. First thing I want to show you, well, actually, so something surprising I learned is that on this stylus, there is a button right here. It kind of clicks, I don't even know if you can hear it, but there's a button here. And that button, let me start a new note. So that button is the eraser. So you can write something. There's a little bit of a delay there, but you can write something, draw, whatever. Whenever you want to erase it, you hold this button and draw a circle around it, and it erases it. You can also, if you wanted to be very slow about it, I think this one is the eraser. Oh, that's the same thing. So you can draw, maybe it's this one? Oh, maybe it's this one. Yeah, there's this that you can, let's see here. There's so many different like marker settings. So we can draw really thick black lines. And this is an eraser. So you can do that. I already showed you the like variable like pressure. So you can go just very light and just have the lightest little line. Or you can push hard and really get thick black lines. I think that is one of my not that that's a feature I would use very often, but I think it's very cool because the whole entire like pad has kind of like a little bit of a squish to it, just as if you were writing on a full notepad. How it kind of has that little bit of give to it. This whole thing has a little bit of that feel. It's got just that little bit of give to it. So I like that. Just like a real marker, you could write and then really, say if you wrote something and then you wanted to underline it. I like that. I think that's pretty cool. Next, you can say you're going to write something, or say you're going to write a couple things, but one of those things you wanted to be highlighted. Well, you can highlight it. You can even go different shades. So say that's a little bit too dark, you can just go a little bit lighter. Say you wanted this one to be a little bit lighter. You can even, I haven't figured out how to do this yet, but I looked on the website, and you can even import PDF files onto this thing. So like say if you were someone who dealt with like contracts, you could import a PDF file of like a contract, look at it, and if there was, I don't know, say there was a problem with something, you could highlight it and say, oh, I need that fixed, or whatever. You're not stuck with this just plain background. There's a bunch of different templates that I found. So you can go here, templates, and then you can pick like whatever you want. 8mm ruled, 9, 10mm ruled, 5mm dots, let's say. Oh, that's very tiny. I don't even know if you can see that. I don't know what you need all these dots for. Maybe if you're going to like sit here and like connect the dots, maybe play like a game or something. I have no idea what you do with 5mm dots. But one of my favorite settings that I found that this will probably be the most used setting for me, is a task list. So you can set up, so if you have a whole list, I'm a big list person. So if I have X amount of things I need to get done in a day, I like to put them all on a list. So you could say, write down 4 things that you need to get done in one day. And then let's say you get the first 3 done, right? But that 4th one you didn't get done. That needs to get pushed off till tomorrow. That's a very common occurrence in my life. So what you can do is, now that you've completed these first 3, you can just erase them. They're done. And then you can use this tool right here and take this last thing that you didn't get done, and then you can just move that now to the top of the list. And then you can make the rest of your list for that day. Or you can just, anything that you write, really, just rearrange it. Or if you're drawing something, say if you drew a star. Oh, I forgot. I forget why this does this. But it has, whenever you draw a star, if it detects that you draw a star, it'll make it perfect. But anyway, I can still show you the same thing. So now you can still obviously move this around, and then you can make it whatever size you need it to be. So that's pretty nifty. I think, now that I think about it, I think I was reading that it had that star feature is so that, say if you were making a list, you could, write 3 things down on a list, but say this one was the most important, you could just put a little star beside it. That way it's important. Now the next thing that I discovered, we need to open a new file here. So whenever you go to open a new note, you can do a standard note, which is just like, drawing, writing, whatever. But you can also do real-time recognition, because this thing has real-time handwriting recognition. So you can write a note. I'm going to write one, and my handwriting is naturally sloppy anyway, but I'm going to write a note that is very sloppy. So let's just say, the dog ran away because your mom smells very bad. Now that is super sloppy. Let's see if it recognizes that word for word. So we're going to push this button here. The dog ran away because your mom smells very bad. I mean, if it can recognize that out of my handwriting, that's pretty good. I gotta say. Oh, that reminds me. So this is one feature that I don't like. Normally, in like normal mode, like the normal note mode, you can hold your eraser button and then just circle whatever you want to erase. But for some reason, if you have the handwriting recognition turned on, it doesn't work that way anymore, and you have to like hold the button, but if you just touch a letter, it'll erase it all. So it still works, but it's just different, which is kind of weird. So it's almost kind of like a regular eraser, but not like a huge deal. Oh, and then it has a calendar. So you can, I mean, this is June 2018. That's not going to work very well. You can do a 31-day calendar. You can also do it to a 7-day calendar. Oh, and even a 1-day. Oh, sweet. So you can like have it day by day. Oh, you can make an event for today. Okay, so let's make an event. Okay. Let's do it from 3:15 a.m. to 4:15 a.m. I guess we need a description. Okay. Oh. And it shows up. and we can see what it is. I guess once we're done, we can just... Huh. And then we have a 7-day. Oh. Okay, so if you do a 7-day calendar, you can just write notes on the day. So say like on Monday, that's pretty cool, especially if you just had like one note to write down for the day. All right, so that's all the basic features. And what I want to do next is I have a device that I would like to try and see if it works on this thing. Just because if it does, it'd be pretty cool. All right, so I have everything situated to where I think it'll work now. What we're gonna do is I have this, which is it's a pen plotter, but it's like a drawing robot. Basically, you can. I can use some software to control this, and it's a robot that will draw whatever I tell it to draw. So what I want to do is see how small you can write on this thing. Just because, I don't know, that's just what I want to know. So we're going to do a test and just write hello really big. Okay. I mean, that's acceptable. That's exactly the way it looks on my screen. So I would consider that a success. Now let's make that much, much smaller. Oh, wow. Okay. That actually looks normal size. That looks way smaller on my screen. All right. No problem. That's actually, like, beautiful. That's so good. Let's go even smaller. We're going to go even smaller, and then we will... Let's change to as thin of a line as possible. I mean, that's a very thin line. Okay. Oh, that's tiny. That's still... I mean, I don't think a human could ever even write that tiny. But that's still beautiful. I don't even know if you can see that. That is the tiniest little hello you could ever see. That answered that question. How small can you write? You can write basically as small as you could ever want. I don't think this is going to change anything, but maybe let's do a sentence. Just for fun. This might be a little bit too big for what I want to do, but we'll see. This is totally working. That worked perfect. It looks just like text from off of a computer. To me, that's impressive. That's so impressive. So last test I want to do is basically, can you do art with this thing? Like, can you do complex drawings? And for that, I have a very complicated maze pattern that this thing is going to attempt to draw out. And I guess after it gets done, it's going to take a while, but after it gets done, we'll judge whether or not you can do it. Oh wow, that thing's going fast too. I have this thing cranked up to the maximum speed also. So I'm just gonna let this thing run. I think this should take about 30 minutes or so. And we'll come back when it's done. Well, I leave for 2 seconds, and then why is the battery symbol popping up? It looks like it even was drawing on some of it. I'm almost positive. I'm not 100% positive, but I'm pretty sure that this battery was like in the 90% range. So as it turns out, the battery was dying, and I charged it up a little bit. So I guess we don't really have to finish this drawing to be able to see what we need to see, because we can see all through here how like small and complex this drawing is, and it handled it just fine. The only thing, I don't even know if I'd be able to pick this up on camera. If I get real close and look at it, I could see like little tiny I don't even know what it is, just like little tiny, like some of the edges are just like a tiny bit little jagged. I'm assuming from little like micro movements from this little robot here. But other than that, I mean, it looks no different than if it was to get drawn with like if you actually drew it. Well, it looks better than if you would have if a person would have drawn it with a pen and paper. So as far as this Supernote is concerned, at least for my first impressions, I like it. I think it's pretty good. I'll leave a link to this in the description, and hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.